look, as a former prosecutor and a current defense attorney, I've seen a lot of different things over my career. This is one, though, in Hamilton Township in New Jersey, which is pretty rare, where you have an officer using his capacity as an officer and taking evidence. Not only evidence, but drugs. Not only drugs, but meth. One of the, I'd say, dirtiest drugs out there. This didn't happen once or twice, but it happened over 9 to 10 times at least that the officials are aware of, and it's very disturbing, honestly. But it also shows, number one, that there is a distrust in the police, and I'm not saying it should be every police officer because 99% of the police officers are doing their job. They're all straight laced individuals that are risking their lives every day. But, and I say this with precaution, there is always that bad apple. And in this situation, I'm not saying this individual did or did not do it because everybody is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And my slogan is just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But in this situation, it seems like there's a lot of evidence against the sergeant here. There's video evidence of him taking drugs or bags of drugs in the evidence department, what he is a supervisor of, and pretty much poking holes in it and taking the meth. And this has happened over and over again. The Hamilton Township Police Department then referred this to the prosecutor's office for review, and that's where he's been charged with. So he's not only been charged with tampering of evidence, but a more important one, in my opinion, is the official misconduct. Official misconduct is a very, very serious crime. It's a second-degree offense where if you're found guilty, you're going to spend 5 to 10 years in state prison. But there's more that this individual can lose. Number one, he can lose his pension. I don't know how long he's been on the force, but he's a sergeant, so he's probably been on the force for a fair amount of time, and he probably already has a pension. He seems like he's a pretty young guy still. So that's a huge thing. Number two, his career as a law enforcement officer is gone. You can say bye-bye because that he will never, and I mean never, touch foot in a police officer's uniform ever again. So if he's lucky, number one, he better have a damn good attorney. Call me. We're the best at what we do. But this attorney is going to have to do some legal maneuvering and do some gymnastics because they are probably going to go after him very, very hard. Not only is this an embarrassment to the department, it's embarrassment to the community and just police officers in general. Again, it puts a bad taste in people's mouths regarding law enforcement. So I don't think that the prosecutor's office is going to go very lightly on him. But then you got to look at this in another way as well. All the cases that this individual has handled, whether he handled it personally or evidence that he mishandled along the way, all these cases, whether they are current cases or have been put in, or there have been convictions or dismissals, wherever it is, they're now all going to be called into question. If I represented anybody in a case that he even had a remote hand in, I'm going to be filing paperwork for an appeal immediately because this individual, this sergeant, has sullied the Hamilton Township Police Department and Atlanta County Justice Facility in general. So this is not over by any means of the imagination. This is going to go a long way. And I can guarantee you other attorneys, if they're thinking smart, they're going to do the exact same thing that I would do, which would be find out if this guy ever touched any case of yours and file an appeal. I would do that immediately. Now, what's going to happen to this guy? Well, I don't know. Obviously, the charges are very serious. I would suspect he's going to be probably trying to go to recovery court. Recovery court is drug court. And look, if you're using drugs, and meth is a very strong, dirty drug like we talked about, I can see him probably trying to do that and, to avoid any type of prison time. But look, you got to mitigate your exposure right now. And this guy is in a world of trouble. So if I was him, I'd probably call me.